Yeah. It's a Monday. And don't worry, because I'm on my way to the tower right now. As we speak, riding out here. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful way to start your week. There's nerdy things to talk about, to discuss. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, no, I do drink my coffee in the Nerdmobile on the way to the tower. And yes, this microphone is floating. Don't worry about it. It's magic and shit. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Everybody thought it was going to have a really big second weekend, and looking at it this morning, it made $3.50. $3.50. That's not good. And so we got to talk about it. What should Feige learn from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness making $3.50 in the second weekend? It's crazy. I'm pulling into the tower as we speak. Yup. We've got some things to discuss today. Ladies and freaking gentlemen, how are you? And welcome to the show. A couple of really cool things going on. First of all, I think I have fixed a couple of different issues. Number one, the audio. How's the audio sounding? Is it nice? Is it crisp? Crisp. Is it not popping, clipping? Is it not going crazy? Because I don't hear it anymore. I hear a nice, crisp, fun, cool, chill audio. You let me know. How's the audio? Do we sound good? Does it sound good even when I yell? Can I yell without blowing out your lows are too high? Shut up, Joseph! I don't want to hear that shit! I'm just kidding. You're probably just trying to help. It's cool. Okay. That's first. And of course, Joseph, reach out and come to the tower and fix the audio. Okay, listen. Next up. I hope and I pray and I think, I believe I can fly. I believe that we have fixed the stream crashing problem. I think we did it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Bill Gates. And we figured it out. So apparently, and this is pretty wild. Maybe some of you guys know this. Maybe some of you guys don't know this. If you did know this and you didn't tell me about it, I'm going to be a little upset, to be honest. But it's okay. It's all good. We got it. Okay? Here's the thing. There's a way to do a compatibility check with a program. Okay? And you can run programs through different versions of Windows. We are running this right now through Windows 8 as opposed to the Windows 11, which was causing all the problems and causing all the stream freezes and crashes. So, hey, knock on wood, you know. Knock on wood. But I think we got it, man. I think we got it figured out. And that's going to be nice because that means no more freaking out. No more going crazy. Keeping it chill. Wait a minute, what's happening here? Is there some gambling going on? Is there some people gambling? Is that what's going on? Okay, shut it up. All right, cool. Okay, so all that stuff's really, really cool. One other thing I want to say, too. Wait, what? Error. Please use keyframe frequencies 4 seconds or less. Current frames are not being sent enough. Buffering the... Wait, what? I'm getting an error from YouTube. How does the stream look? Does it look okay, though? Because maybe we'll just power through this and I'll look at it tomorrow. I'll try to figure it out tomorrow. Oh, and now everybody's trying to gamble. Awesome. Cool. You guys let me know. How does it look? Does it look okay? Yeah, I think it looks good, right? I think we're good. Cool. Okay, good. Okay, cool. Look, we got a lot of stuff to get into today. I kind of want to get right into it, but I will say we're making a slight change to Wednesdays. So if you're a Nerd Venture, we will be streaming at noon on Wednesday. And it'll just be kind of like another morning stream, but more casual, and we'll just chill, talk about different things that are going on. I think it's going to be dope. But we're no longer going to stream Wednesday nights, and we were trying to do watch parties Wednesday nights. It never ended up working. And so we're no longer going to do that. And instead, what we're going to do, and I want to try something different here. Let me try that. Instead, what we're going to do is we are going to do watch parties Saturday mornings once a month. The first weekend of each month, we're going to do watch parties on Saturday mornings, and we'll watch like some fun, whatever we feel like watching. We'll put polls up and stuff before we do it. But yeah, so Wednesday's changing a little bit. If you're a member, you want to just chill, kick it, talk about what's going on, come on by at noon on Wednesdays. That's when we're going to do the streams for the members from now on. Okay. So let's get into this. Let's talk about it. By the way, I'm super curious. Let me know in chat, guys. Did any of you go see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness this past weekend? Did anybody see it in weekend 2? Russell says he saw it. What do you guys think? Whoa! Wow, a lot of people saw it. So I didn't go see it again. Gonna be honest, I had family in town. I had a pretty busy week. I had a pretty busy weekend, but it was fun. I had a good weekend, but I didn't get to see it. So it looks like a good bit of you saw it. Okay, right on. So let's go over this Variety article here, which is talking about the Doctor Strange box office drop-off. And here's the thing, man. I think there's probably some people that are saying, oh man, this was massive. This was crazy. This was the biggest drop off. Oh, it's such a bad sign. Marvel, they definitely screwed up with this movie. Oh man, this, that, second, and the third. A lot of people saying like the doom of Marvel, the fall down of Marvel or whatever, right? Then there's other people that are probably like, more like an MCU stan, they are probably saying like it's no big deal and bringing up different facts about how these movies are pretty front-loaded these days, etc., etc. Let's read the story. Let's try to get to the bottom of it. And let's also look at the box office for this film overall and a couple other MCU movies. I want to kind of make a point here, okay? So, it says here, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is again the #1 movie at the domestic box office. In its second weekend of release, the latest installment in Disney's Marvel Cinematic Universe has collected $61 million from 4,534 North American theaters. Ticket sales plunged 67% from its opening weekend, marking a steeper drop-off compared to recent Marvel movies like Eternals, which declined 61% in its second weekend, and Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which declined 52% in its second weekend. That's actually pretty wild. However, its sizable decline is not surprising since Doctor Strange is coming off the 11th biggest opening weekend in history with $187 million. After 10 days on the big screen, the superhero adventure starring Benedict Cumberbatch as the Sorcerer Supreme has grossed a strong $291 million in North America. At the international box office, the Strange sequel added $83.5 million from 49 markets. In total, the film has grossed $688.1 million globally. It took less than 2 weeks for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness to outpace its predecessor at the box office, the original Doctor Strange, which ended its theatrical run in 2016 with $232 million domestically and $677 million globally. So look, what does that mean? That means in 2 weeks, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness has literally outgrossed the entire first movie, which I think is actually pretty cool. Okay, so, you know, they go on to talk about a bunch of different other things that are going on with the box office. But here's what I wanted to look at, okay? They mentioned two other movies here, right? And if we look at the total box office here, you know, you're looking at like 300 domestic for now, and internationally about 400. So you're looking at let's say about 700. Okay? Now, if we look at Shang-Chi, you look at its total box office take, total, it opened at 75 million domestic. Okay. It had pretty good legs, respectively. Like 50% drop off is really good. And it had legs, man. You know what I mean? It did its thing. And yeah. So internationally and domestically, you're looking about 225 domestic, 200 internationally, which is kind of rough, right? But of course, we have to remember that back then, there were still a lot of restrictions. I think it's fair to say that you can put a little pandy asterisk next to this movie, but its worldwide total is $432 million. Again, standing, I think, ahead of like a lot of different movies that are out there, but also important to note that this is such a small number, I think, compared to what Doctor Strange already has worldwide. Do you know what I mean? So I think that there's a more complicated story here going on than just the fact that, like, oh, that was this massive box office drop in total, right? Because I kind of like went back and looked at these things. I wanted to bring it up to you guys. So check this out. This is the Eternals. The Eternals. Okay. Open at 71 million. Again, pretty good compared to a lot of other movies, a lot of other things that were opening. I think Sonic 2, unless I'm mistaken or something like that, didn't it hit like 60 million or something in its opening? Pretty wild. Look, less than Shang-Chi. 402 million total. Bruh. Again, very, very low, I think, compared to Multiverse of Madness. Now, here's sort of my take on the entire situation, okay? Because believe it or not, I don't actually think that it's all nonsense when talking about the box office drop and what it means. Let's just, you know what? Let's go to Poll Town. Let's go to Poll Town. I would love to know what you guys think of this. So let me start a new poll. Let's see here. Did you expect less of a box office drop for MOM? Did you expect less? You let me know. You let me know. I'd like to know, what do you think? And I guess, too, you know, you let me know in chat as well. Do you think that Feige and Marvel expected less of a box office drop? You let me know. Yeah. Interesting story here, right? So the way I take it, the way I think of it is like this. I think it is actually fair to say that this is sort of a surprising drop-off. Oh, and I got to be in the office, so hopefully it doesn't come close to me, or otherwise I'll have to do karate on screen and kill it with my bare hands. So if I do think that's fair, dude. I think looking at this box office drop off, and I think this is actually a little bit surprising to probably Marvel Studios. It is certainly not the end of the world. It's certainly not bad, because this movie will, I think, still crack $1 billion, probably end at like 1.1, 1.2 total for the film. That's kind of what I think, which, by the way, we talked about this a lot before the movie came out, and a lot of people in our community agreed that we didn't expect this movie to do the Spider-Man numbers, right? Spider-Man is kind of like a phenomenon of a movie, and I think that while Doctor Strange does a lot of crazy stuff, it is also put together in a way that is just not as universally fun as what happened with No Way Home. I think No Way Home is a uniquely, universally fun movie. It is fan-freaking-tastic. The fan service elements are incredible, but just at face value, if you know very little about any of the Spider-Mans, I think it is a genuinely fun ride. Multiverse of Madness, man, is it a Sam Raimi movie. It is a Sam Raimi movie. It has very strong horror elements, and I think that I think there's a couple of things operating here, okay? I think there's multiple takeaways that you could make from this. I think that the marketing for the movie and the lead up to the film and the way the rumors and the speculation went about the film itself was also way different than what you get in the Spider-Man movie. The Spider-Man movie, you know, it's crazy because there was just so many rumors, so many things that were going on with it. Everybody talking about Andrew, talking about Toby, and that speculation fueled the hype for the movie, like undeniably so. And then the way they chose to sort of hold that information back and not really, talk about it publicly, that also added into it and created just crazy, crazy hype for the film. And Multiverse of Madness, despite a lot of us sweaties and a lot of us hardcore people like being like, yo, let's go. There were obviously really crazy rumors, the Illuminati, Magneto, Iron Man, all these different things that were rumored. But it never seemed to break past the rumor bubble, right? It never seemed to break past the rumor bubble. Where with Spider-Man, those rumors broke way past the rumor bubble. First of all, some of us are looking at 4K video of Andrew Garfield on the set. Do you know what I mean? That's a totally different thing. That gets shared around way more than, Den of Nerds videos talking about, this, that, second, and the third. It's crazy, right? It's a totally different ballgame. It's also the fact that, like, they're on talk shows, at least Andrew was. Like, Andrew was like, it seemed like he was always getting asked about it. That fueled it. It goes way further than the rumor bubble. But the speculation and the rumors about Multiverse of Madness, they never seem to leave that bubble. They were always in that bubble, which is why I feel like the marketing team, in a last-minute decision, decided to heavily tease out the crazy cameos that would be in the movie. You saw that's with the lead up that week, right? You've got Captain Britain, I guess Peggy Carter, her being previewed. You get the Professor X stuff with the yellow thing. You get even who else did they tease? They teased somebody else too. I forget who it was, but they teased pretty much a lot of that stuff, right? And I think that's a signal, or that's kind of a sign you could take from the marketing team being like, yo, this is not tracking where we want it to be. This is not doing that same hype stuff that we thought it could. We need to release some crazy stuff. And it's like marketing scrambles, figures out what they can do, and then they do it that way, okay? So I think that's kind of part of it. But I also think that this movie is, as much as I love it, and I love the film, it's my second favorite MCU movie behind Infinity War. And went back and watched Infinity War, by the way, and watched Endgame recently as well. And I can say that for me, as a fan, I love Multiverse of Madness. It is very, very dear to my heart. But I think it is also totally fair, and we have to be able to look at this stuff objectively, right? It's totally fair to say that it is not resonating with fans on the whole as much as a lot of the things and projects and movies that did in the lead up to Infinity War and Endgame, and of course with Infinity War and Endgame. Not even close. Like, it's a divisive movie. I think people feel differently about it. I think some people feel like the movie has such a strong horror vibe. It is so, it adheres so much to Raimi's vision that it sort of takes some of that Marvel feeling away, right? And I think that's absolutely fair. Like, the movie it does awesome MCU things, but at the end of the day, it's very sort of singular, closed, and dark. Like, it's dark. It's dark. It has a lot of horror vibes. And so I think that, like, we just looked at these numbers, right? Massive success. I think that they will ultimately be very happy with how this movie performs overall from a financial perspective. And that includes some very expensive reshoots. Had to be expensive. They shot practically a whole nother movie, right? So it has to be really, really expensive. I still think it'll go down as a very successful part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I would not want the entire team at Marvel Studios, I would not want Kevin Feige and everybody to look at what's happening here and not understand that there is feedback and signaling coming from the fan base that I believe they need to respond to. I do. And I think Thor 4 is probably going to be a fantastic and super fun movie. I think that Wakanda Forever is going to be a super fun movie and do a lot to sort of fill us in as to what the MCU is going to look like now. And I'm still very confident in Marvel's future IP and the plans that they have. But I also think it is totally and completely fair to look at what we have in Phase 4 so far, and as fans try to give feedback, and some of that feedback comes in the way of them, not making as much, not having as much of a box office draw, right? That's a part of the feedback. It's the wallet feedback. It's very valuable feedback. I think Marvel Studios does need to, as quickly as they possibly can, get back to some of the principles and the things that really made the MCU work, and that drew a lot of people into the MCU, and that I think fueled this worldwide phenomenon that became the MCU. Elise and I were talking about this the other day. I think that a lot of MCU fans, this is kind of the crazy part, and I don't know if Marvel fully understands this. I think they probably do, right? But you could possibly say that they don't. I think a lot of current MCU fans, like I would say 20% of current MCU fans, maybe 30%, but I'd say at least 20%, came into the MCU after Infinity War in the lead up to Endgame. Like, let me know in chat if you would disagree, but I'm telling you right now, Infinity War was such a crazy thing because the lead up to Endgame, it grabbed in so many new people, bro. So many new people. Like, a bunch of normies were like, I've never really been into Marvel before, but like, people won't stop talking about Endgame. They won't stop talking about the ending of Infinity War. All the heroes die or something. It sounds crazy. Like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? It became a real cultural movement where a ton of people came into it. I know for me personally, ton of people. In fact, almost the entire crew of people that I went to go see Endgame with had not been into the MCU and were not watching those movies prior to that film. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think part of the problem that might be happening here is that a lot of fans came in at like the height of a huge plan, a ton of just artistic energy that created that sort of moment. And now what we are getting in Phase 4 is very clearly sort of one part maybe filler, one part scrambling because things behind the scenes have changed a lot, and obviously at least one part of scrambling because of the pandy and because of a lot of issues that have happened with production. Okay? And for me personally, I'm really looking forward to July this year where I think at San Diego Comic-Con, Feige's going to come out with some big old announcements about what's happening in the next couple of years. And I'm really looking forward to the movies and the shows next year. I'm super hyped up for Thor 4, Love and Thunder. That movie's going to be dope, bro. You know what I mean? It's going to be awesome. It's going to be super fun. Wakanda Forever, I'm like, okay, we'll see what they got. You know, I'm excited for Namor, and if there's some Doctor Doom on there, I'm like, nom. But I'm actually really looking forward to the movies of next year because I think we will finally be past all the issues that came with the pandy as far as production, right? I mean, Thor was shooting during the heat of it all, you know? Wakanda Forever has had a ton of rewrites, reshoots, and has been really plagued by a lot of complications due to the pandy. And so I think what you're looking at right here with Phase 4 and Doctor Strange's box office, and we'll have to keep an eye on it because, you know, we don't think, at least I don't personally think, that the movie's going to have a massive fall off again. And I do think it'll hit that $1.1, $1.2 billion mark. But if it doesn't hit $1 billion, if it like continues to fall off like pretty hard, I do think that would be a little bit of a problem. I do think that's something that Feige needs to take notice of and that Marvel needs to take notice of and possibly make some changes. Because, again, for me personally, I'm here for it, dude. I loved Multiverse of Madness. Secret Wars is coming. I couldn't be happier. This is like, in my opinion, we're right about to go crazy in the MCU. I think it's going to be better than it's ever been. X-Men, Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom, Kang, Multiversal Wars. Like, holy shit. It's about to get crazy. But at the same time, it is totally reasonable and I think perfectly okay to say that things probably aren't going perfectly smooth right now. And Multiverse of Madness, you know, after that first weekend, I was like, damn, like, this is a controversial film, but I wonder how much of that is just noise. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I wonder how much of that is noise. Will that play out in the numbers? Because, you know, you never know. These days, it's hard to tell, like, the difference between social media discourse and, like, what's actually going on. But I think after a weekend like this one, even though it's still making a ton of money, totally fair to say, I think it is bared out in the data that the film is more controversial than maybe I first admitted. And it's not hitting with people. It's not getting that same word of mouth, dude. Do you know how strong the word of mouth was for Spider-Man No Way Home? This is how people talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. They'd be like, oh, no, you have to see it. Like, I'll pay for your ticket. Like, you have to see it. It's one of the most fun, incredible movies I've ever seen from a ton of different people, all different walks of life, all different beliefs. That's what the word of mouth was for No Way Home. The word of mouth for Multiverse of Madness is probably a little bit like, oh, I liked it, or, oh, I don't know, it was fun, but it's scary, or it's dark, or it's different, or this, that, second, and the third, right? So it is a different thing that is going on. It's a different vibe. And the last thing I'll say on this before we move on, if you look at the vibe of even Endgame, which I think is pretty dark as well, but has a lot of levity, a lot of different characters, fun stuff that's going on. It is a totally different vibe in those big Avenger movies than what you got in Multiverse of Madness. Multiverse of Madness was a real departure, dude. It was a real departure. Like, it's like, just watch those movies and see like how like quippy and fun, and it's all, you know, it's got this humor and it's got all these different characters, all these crazy things are happening. And Multiverse of Madness is like, like, Wanda, are you really gonna kill all these people? Yes, bam. You know what I mean? It just, it's crazy, bro. Like, it's wild. So, just an interesting time to be a fan. And something that I wanted to bring up, okay? Now, one other thing. Well, there's probably a couple other things we could get into, but I'm going to get into the Q&A because I definitely want to know what y'all think about this, for sure. Let's talk about this. So, we haven't been talking too much about Warner Brothers. You know, obviously, Ezra Miller stuff. You know, I don't want to dwell on it. I feel very weird about that whole situation, and the Flash movie for me is a big question mark, right? I'm waiting to hear more about Ezra, the situation, the plan moving forward, before I say one way or the other whether I'm even going to see the Flash movie. I might literally give the Flash the Morbius treatment. What's the Morbius treatment? Oh, I'll shit on it without seeing it. And I'll vow never to see it. Yet to be determined. Okay? But regardless, I love DC. I love superheroes, man. I was just talking about Kingdom Come Green Lantern, Alan Scott, and how freaking awesome he is and how freaking crazy that story is. I love DC, right? I'm rooting for DC. And with Zaslav coming in, he's fired a lot of people and canceled a lot of shows. And it's still unclear what the plan is and what exactly is happening with DC. But this bit of news here, I think would actually be pretty chill. And this is that Alan Horn may well return to Warner Brothers and help them out with their movies. And of course, because Alan Horn works a lot with Bob Iger, works a lot with a lot of great creatives at Pixar. He worked with the great Kevin Feige for many years. And I think this could be low key. It's industry stuff, right? So it's not that sexy. It doesn't just translate into like specifics as far as the superhero genre. But just for the sake of Warner Brothers, I think that would actually be a very good get for them. And I'd be interested in what Mr. Horn would do. Certainly would be interested in what the man would do. So I just kind of want to bring that up. Let me see here. Is there anything else going on in the nerdy world? Anything else that we should be talking about, guys? I've got a couple of different video ideas that I'm working on. Of course, I want to work on the part 2 to the Secret Wars video. And I think I'll probably have that out for you guys actually early next week. But it'll be a juicy one. You guys will really, really enjoy that. There's some Thor. Oh, we can talk about this. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Paul from the Heavy Spoilers Show. Check this out, man. Check it out. So now that the rumors about Daniel Craig originally being in a Doctor Strange are out, I think I could talk about what I heard on the film about him. Craig was originally supposed to be Boulder the Brave, who was a part of the Illuminati. He was talked into killing himself by Wanda. He couldn't shoot the scenes, though, and in the reshoots, they replaced him with Krasinski. Okay, so, and there's a lot of people saying he's Reed, but I think that's being confused because he was replaced by Reed, and so they just assuming that that's what it was. But, Daniel Craig as Boulder the Brave. What do you guys think? I think it would have been pretty cool. I mean, not a lot of people know about Boulder the Brave, though, just being real. Like, that, I don't know if it would have had the same impact as Reed Richards. I think Reed Richards, way better pick for the movie. But, would have been pretty wild to get Daniel Craig in the MCU. And you know what else? Like, a lot of the things that were supposed to be in Multiverse of Madness that were not had to do with scheduling, and they had to do with the pandy. Again, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to make all the excuses in the world for Marvel. I think Marvel needs to do better. But I do think that a lot of the reasons that we're seeing sort of cracks in the Marvel formula, or some, like, chinks in the armor, or whatever they say, kinks in the armor, whatever it is, the reason you're seeing that is, I think, because of scheduling, pandy. Like, it's a myriad of different things that are all working together to create, unfortunately, a lot of things being removed. And I think moving forward, a lot of that stuff's going to disappear. We're going to get it. Now, I wonder if Mr. Craig, or if any of the other folks that were going to shoot cameo scenes in Multiverse of Madness, I wonder if any of them will come back. I wonder. What do you guys think? And would you want Mr. Craig to come back into the MCU? Because if he does, I don't really want him to play Boulder the Brave. You know what I mean? Like, that character's fine, but, like, come on, man. And I definitely don't see him as Reed Richards. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure, ladies and gentlemen. But, yeah, I wouldn't mind him in the MCU, 100%. But I just want to bring that up because Paul had that. And, yeah, he's able to talk about it now. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. Good for him. Good for him. By the way, I don't love the audio right now. I do think it's better than what we had going on before, but I need to tweak it more because I'm not super crazy about it. But anyways, we'll get into Q&A here in a little bit, guys. But before we do, I just wanted to say I made another video. About the leaked ending for Kenobi. Now, we're not going to talk spoilers in here, okay? But I recommend you check that video out if you're curious about why the leak and the ending is causing such a kerfuffle in the Star Wars fandom. I actually went into a thread on Reddit where a lot of people were talking about it. And, it's decent conversation. There's some of it that's, really just, I think it's good combo. Like, not people trying to dunk on each other, but actually just bringing up different points. Like, the discourse is pretty honest. And so I brought up a ton of different things that people in that thread are talking about with regards to the ending. And I give my take on it. And I also talk about, importantly in that video, why no matter what happens with the Kenobi show, I think for me personally, like, I've decided I'm going to go in as optimistic as possible. Okay? I'm going to go in as optimistic as possible. I'm going to cheer. I'm going to cry. I'm going to get into it, bro. I love Star Wars. I love Vader. I love Obi-Wan, man. We're getting to revisit the prequels. And so despite the fact that the ending really does bother me, I think it's important to put it in context. What are we talking about? We're talking about a leak about how the show will end. We have to see it. We absolutely have to see it for ourselves before we can pass judgment on it. 100%. But the video and the coverage that I've made so far is about how this piece of information is hitting me as a fan. And I'm just trying to give as honest and authentic as I can a reason why it really bothers me and why I see a ton of potential problems for it. But you know what else I was thinking about? Because again, I rewatched Endgame and I was like, yo, the truth is Endgame has a bunch of plot holes in it, actually. It has a bunch of plot holes in it, and it's kind of messy as a movie, especially compared to Infinity War. Do I shit all over Endgame? No. I love Endgame. It's not as good as Infinity War, but I love Endgame, and it's a really good ending for Tony, right? And if the show handles Obi-Wan, Luke, Leia, and Vader all really well with a lot of care, and they just have a couple, like one element of it that does create some plot holes, I will try as best I can to love it for what it is and not just shit on it. I'm not the shit on stuff channel, man. I'm not. You know what I mean? I don't get down with Schadenfreude. I don't make it my business to dunk on Disney whenever they do something stupid, which is all the time. That's not me. You know what I mean? That's not me. So just kind of want to throw that out there. And we have some dope stuff for giveaways for Kenobi. I'm going out and trying to get more stuff. We're going to get it hyped up like we always do for Kenobi. I'm going to try to forget about the ending and just think that hopefully maybe it's wrong. Maybe we got all butthurt for no reason. And we're going to get excited for Kenobi. Okay? So want to say that. Okay? Just want to put that out there for the people. And please let that ending not be real. Okay, let's get into the super chats. Let's go over them. Here we go. Just felt like riding. First in today with a $2 holla says, Slam boy. Much love, my Nerdvenger fam and Papa Josh. Well, hey, thanks, man. Appreciate that. I'll probably see you on Nerd Theory later tonight. So appreciate the love, man. Elijah says, remember that one show called Moon Knight? Nope. No, of course I remember Moon Knight. It was all right. What do we say? It was all right. Rhett Proctor says, what a great way to start my morning while waiting for The Boys Season 3 trailer that will focus heavily on Soldier Boy and his team Payback. I like the Soldier Boy shield is eagle shape. Yeah, that is pretty sick. Yo, is that trailer out? Because they will absolutely copy strike us if we watch it, but I kind of want to watch it. Is it out? Oh, I can't do that on here. I'll screw up that. Chat, is the trailer out? Let me know. Is the trailer out? You're not even listening, chat. You're all talking about Star Wars leaks. God. Golly, man. Oh, in an hour? Okay, maybe I'll even do a video about it, huh? Yo, put a 1 into the chat if you want me to do a video, a trailer reaction to it. Put a 1 into the chat. You want me to do it? Hey, you want me to do it? Should I do it? Should I put a couple zeros? People are like, no, bro. No. Don't do it, bro. Okay, we're doing it. That's enough 1s for me. We're doing it. Okay, but let's get through this because that'll be close to our prime stream, huh? Okay, let's get through this. Yeah, that's sick, bro. Appreciate you bringing that up. I like Jensen Ackles, so I'm excited that he's doing that show. T-Love, the Silver Lurker with a 350 says, yo, let me get that tree fitty. Monster, what you need tree fitty for? I just fumbled over that. What's wrong with my mouth today? Okay, I think we fixed it. King Roman says, rewatch Loki this weekend over MOM again. Rewatch Loki this movie over MOM. I don't understand what that means, but thank you for the 2 spot. Elijah says, I listened to your Friday rant 1,000,000 times this weekend, and I freaking love it. They'll do it for your day. That'll do it for your week. Much love. Oh, yes, Friday. Yeah, on the stream. Yeah, I got a little heated towards the end. It's all good. It's all good, man, you know? Keeping it chill. King Tanic with a $10 holla. Very generous, brother. Says, good morning, Josh. No Way Home had a bigger drop in its second weekend. MCU movies are very front-loaded, and everybody who was interested in the movie already saw it opening weekend. Hope all is well, man. Yeah, that's pretty cool. We talked a good bit about that, and I agree that they're front-loaded, but I also agree, or rather, I also believe that Marvel was expecting more. I do. I think Marvel and Disney was expecting more for this movie. And maybe I'm totally off with that, but I think they were banking on this movie being a little bit bigger than it is. And I think that in some ways there's lessons here. Go back to the drawing board a little bit. You know what I mean? Pretty Nikki says, no comment or questions. Just take my money. Well, thank you so much, Nikki. And it's always good to see you in the tower. I appreciate you. Mandalore says, saw MOM on opening weekend, liked it, forced myself to watch Morbius. Oh my goodness. You're braver than me. Free version because I'm not paying for that garbage. Didn't like it. Well, that's, you know, yeah, I've heard it's real bad. You know? Maybe what I'll do is I'll never watch the Flash movie and I'll never watch Morbius, and someday I'll do a double header and decide which one's worse. Maybe that's what we'll do. Patrick says, well, membership chat for 4 months says, despite Strange's involvement in Avengers, he is still a very tertiary character for the general audience compared to the X-Men, Spider-Man, etc. Not surprised the movie isn't exploding. I think that's fair. I mean, dude, I'll tell you this. Yeah, Spider-Man, way bigger than Doctor Strange. Like probably hundreds of degrees larger as far as a IP or property. So that's a fair point, man. Appreciate you. Elijah also says, what's your take on Star Wars / Game of Thrones-ish Crown of the Force leak on Twitter? What? I have no thoughts on it because I haven't seen it. Crown of the Force leak. I have no idea what that is. I will look that up later, though, because you have me intrigued. I don't see anything right away, so I'll look that up later, man. Thanks for that. Thank you. Jordan Smith with a $10 holla. Very generous, man. Appreciate you. Says, one question I do worry about is, or rather, how do you do all these projects in a timely manner so you care about seeing when people will come back? I think the MCU splits and everyone can follow what they want. One question I don't know what about is, how do all these projects in a timely manner so you create? Yeah, well, look, what you're talking about, Jordan, I think, is just the difficulties of even doing the MCU in the first place. And Marvel wasn't perfect over their first 10 years. They had a lot of missteps, but they learned a lot. And they built structures and systems in place to make it way easier to make these movies and to have them all feel connected. So I think that, yes, it is super hard. Marvel is the one that essentially is doing this the best, even with a lot of the things that went wrong, I think, in Phase 4. And, bro, I would just say that it's probably just harder because of changes to the future plan and the pandy. So it's like kind of like that. I don't think the MCU needs to split, but I think in some ways there will likely be parts of the MCU that resonate more with certain folks. And certain folks will kind of split off into their own separate things. I mean, look at this. We are probably split. I know not everybody loves Multiverse of Madness the same way that I do. I adore the movie. I love this film. But not everybody feels the same way. You know what I mean? Flat Brush Zombie 47 says, Josh, what's good with my homie Bruce Banner? I need Hulk vs. Wolverine and Hulk vs. Thing. He needs to get that arm fixed first, though. Yeah, so the arm is fixed, at least according to the Shang-Chi post-credit scene. The arm appears to be fixed, and there appears to be some kind of device on it. We'll get answers in She-Hulk. I'm not sure exactly what those answers will be. And there's a big rumor that Hulk and his son Scar will leave to go get help or go fix something like out in space after the She-Hulk show. And if that happens, they're probably setting up World War Hulk. And I think you're going to get a lot of that Hulk that you want, that you didn't get in Endgame. I think you'll get a lot of that coming up. And, oh, wouldn't it be cool if he fought Wolverine? That show would be sick. Kendall says, Phase 4 content just missing a bit of except for No Way Home. Is that the movie that Feige had most involvement in? Thor 4 Jane will be GOAT or bust. Yeah, dude, I think Thor 4 is going to be absolutely incredible. Like, that's just 100% how I feel. And the movie looks really, really fun. Some of the things we're hearing about it sound crazy. So I'm in for that one 100%. And yeah, I think there's a little bit of a missing. And ultimately, Multiverse of Madness is a very interesting, but here's the thing, man. Here's the thing, Kendall. This is what I think. Doesn't Multiverse of Madness kind of feel like it doesn't feel like the conversations around it, aren't these the same conversations we've been having for almost everything in Phase 4? Like, when we got done with WandaVision, we were like, dude, where's all the fun stuff that we heard about and all the crazy stuff that could have been in there? Where's all that, right? Same thing with all the other shows. Same thing with literally all the movies, everything, except Spider-Man No Way Home. But I think that it's because it's the same issues. Like, the plan is changing. They can't commit to too much. They got to kind of restrict it because the plan's changing, right? I mean, there was going to be all kinds of stuff in Moon Knight that they gutted. And I refuse to believe that this is only because of them wanting to tell good stories. I mean, they're even coming out and admitting that it's because of scheduling, right? So I think we're missing because plans have been changing and because it was super hard to nail this, right? So that's kind of what I'm saying. Experimental phase, but Feige coming back strong. Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like he's going to come back super strong moving forward. WRX Monkey Boy says, kind of culty, thinks Battleworld will be in the void from Loki. What do you think of that? Makes sense to me. He made 2 videos about his theory. Yeah, first of all, I love Culty's videos. I think he's great. Been trying to collab with him for a very long time, but, scheduling and all that. Here's what I think. Could be, and a lot of evidence right now seems to point at Kang being the driving force behind the Secret Wars. And this is going to kind of go into a lot of stuff that I'm going to talk about in part 2 of the Road to Secret Wars video, which again, I'm working on it this week, but it probably won't drop until early next week. We're going to talk about that because a lot of different things being said. There's a new leaker out there that says the Secret Wars movie will happen in 2026. I know. Some of you guys are like, dude, there's no way. Bro, I'm telling you right now, I feel like that might be true. I feel like it was going to hit in 2024, and then they lost 2 years to the pandy. I feel like 2026 could work. Maybe not that year exactly, but that seems to be the clip that we're moving at. And if that is indeed the case, Kang is very likely to replace Doctor Doom in what they're doing with Secret Wars, which kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? So we'll see. As far as the Void World, it could absolutely be that that's where the Battle World's going to take place, or it'll be like a new planet. Who knows? Road Scala Comics, welcome to the Nerd Ventures. You are a Nerd Venture now. Let that power flow throughout you. And welcome to Nerd Ventures Tower. Welcome. Steve says, I find myself rewatching very few Marvel movies. The Cap movies and Iron Man movies are usually the ones. I'll tell you, man, rewatching Endgame, the scenes between Cap and Iron Man, dude, you don't get any better than that. That shit was incredible. And it's a culmination of all these different soap opera moments over 10 years of story development, the history between the characters, the ability for them to get into those roles. Like, you play a character for 10 years, you're going to be very comfortable in that role, right? Man, those scenes are great. And I do miss that. But we've got to build towards it. I think sometimes people forget it took 10 years to get to that point. And I think you're going to get moments like that again with the characters we're learning, meeting, and growing with right now. But I do understand what you're saying. Flatbrush says Daniel Craig as Magneto. Not bad. Not bad. Kendall says, do you think if they teased Mr. Fantastic and hyped the John K. as Reed train, that it would have been a bigger draw than the late Peggy and Maria teases? Yes. Yes, I do. But you know what's funny, bro, is that here's the thing, man. Can we just talk about this too? I think there's something to be said here for the fact that Spider-Man No Way Home's cameos are all a celebration, a warm hug, even though it gets very dark with May dying. None of the characters that came in died. None of them. None of the villains, none of the Spider-Man. Literally all of the cameos in MOM don't just die. They get brutally destroyed. But Feige's trying to set you up, bro. Feige's trying to plant some seeds. Feige's trying to get you to understand that this multiversal war, this secret war, it's going to be a war. It's not going to be all fun hugging and everybody figures it out and Tobey Maguire stops somebody from killing somebody. That's not what's going down. So maybe the John K. thing would have hyped more people up, but would word of mouth been great for the fact that he gets turned into a spaghetti and his head gets popped? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think about this. Like, is there even the ability for the cameo hype for MOM to reach what it did in No Way Home? Because they all die, bro. You know what I mean? It's hard. Road Scholar Comics. Hey, man, I really appreciate that 5 spot. I'm sure you had a message, though. And, just put it into the chat. I'll try to get to it in a second here. Mike says with a 23-month membership chat. By the way, Elisa, if you're watching, we really need to get on that 2-year badge. I know we talked about it, but... And Ryan, I think Elisa's going to hit you up about that, too. The flush may still be a thing, but on a positive, DC animation continues to be a bright spot, and I'm looking forward to Jon Stewart Green Lantern. It looks great. It does look great, and I will definitely be checking it out. I love the Green Lanterns, man. Love them. So yeah, I hear you there, Mike, and I appreciate the support, bro. Dark Dragon X7 says, maybe a little off topic, but what's your opinion on the proposed bill that would retroactively make copyright only last a max of 58 years? I literally have no idea what we're talking about, bro. And so I really can't comment on it. I will look into that more, though. It sounds interesting. For sure. Does that mean I can just make Marvel stuff? Is that what we're talking about? Cool. Genesis says with a $10 holler, very generous man, says, hi, Josh. Do you remember that part in MOM when Strange says to Richards, didn't you chart in the 60s? Does this confirm the Fantastic Four existing in the 60s in the 616? Did they disappear into the quantum realm? I actually love that theory and hope that that's true. But I think what Strange is referring to is the Fab Four, or whatever it was. Was it the Fab Five? The Beatles. The Beatles. He was talking about the Beatles, I think. I could be wrong, but that's what I think he's referring to. But it plays nicely as an Easter egg for the 60s Fantastic Four as well. So who knows? Jedi Knight and friend Takara Dune says, is Krasinski a lock for F4? I need more Krasinski. You know, I don't know, man. From what we understand, it's still sort of ongoing negotiations. Kind of depends on how the fans reacted as well. And what's interesting is, like, a lot of us loved Krasinski in that role, but not everybody did. I think there's a lot of people that didn't love him in that role. So, I don't know. I hope so, and I think it would be great. And if that rumor we went over last week about him and Bryce working together, I also think that would be great, because that's such a mom and dad for Marvel's first family. I would really like it. So, who knows, man? Chase Floyd says, hey, bro, I'm starting the stream back, but the MOM ticket drop. How much do you think it's parents who went to the MOM weekend and told their friends it would scare kids? Probably a decent percent. I think it's definitely affecting it. It's hard to say for sure how much, but it absolutely has to have an effect, bro. Like, because Marvel is a brand that you take your kids to go see the movies. And I don't know that this is a movie I would take young kids to see. So that absolutely has to be a part of it for sure. Infection Gaming with a $20 holla, very generous, bro, says, I have to ask. I've been a broke vendor for a while now, but I don't see the Luke Soka shirts in the shop anymore. I know I'm way late, but I'm prepared to pay double what you wanted if you were to have any left. I actually have to get in touch with Brian about that, and I think we want to work on some more kind of fun shirts through his company as well. So let me check on that, bro. I'm not sure what's the deal with that, but yeah, we'll get it working. Patrick says with a $5 holla, if the Kenobi leaks are true with canon issues, is this going to be more evidence that only Filoni and Favreau should be producing and developing this stuff? It could be a signal to that, Patrick. I'm not exactly sure that that's even the answer, though. I think actually there's a deeper problem with Star Wars. And I'm actually going to make a video, maybe today, maybe soon, about Kevin Feige Star Wars and my sort of hopes for that, and why I'm so hopeful that could be an ingredient that Star Wars is missing. Because here's the truth, man. Star Wars and the leadership over there, they're stuck in a very weird place. They want to appease older fans and they want to appease nostalgia, but they've also become captured by it. And even the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which I'm super excited for, despite the leaks. Why does that show even exist? You know what I mean? Like, why are we even doing this show? Star Wars will not survive if it only just keeps going back to characters and time periods that we've already explored. Now, the 19-year gap, of course, on Tatooine isn't heavily explored, but for sure we've explored it. For God's sakes, one of the best Rebels episodes explores it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, to me, Star Wars has a Star Wars problem. And they need to create something new and compelling and interesting that feels like Star Wars, has nostalgia, but charts a new course. Because ultimately, you don't have these canon-breaking plot hole problems if you're creating new canon. Go forward. So, I don't know, bro. MC Drew says, Feige's only lesson learned. F them haters. I'll make whatever movie I want. and you'll give me your money. See, but here's the thing, MCU Drew, and I appreciate that because, look, I'm an MCU simp as well. That is actually not healthy for the MCU. The MCU and Feige needs to read the room. People like you and I probably love Multiverse of Madness. We're here for it. We're excited about all the possibilities, all the fun things that are coming. But they need to read the room and feel the feedback from the audience. And I think they need to be dynamic. They need to evolve. They need to change. They need to improve. They can't rest on their laurels. Resting on your laurels is a recipe for disaster. So I hear you, and I'm not trying to say they're doomed, but I'm trying to say they should learn from this. You know what I mean? Pioneer's Getaway Arrows says Disney's committed selected Illuminati is a crime. Disney's committed selected Illuminati is a crime. Again, I'm not even 100% sure what you mean by that, but I appreciate the support. Wavy Dave says, member for 13 months, says, Josh, thanks for all the content. Can't believe it's been this long. Can't wait to see the badges for Nerd Vengeance when Secret Wars comes out. Oh, yeah, man. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait either, man. Absolutely. Stephen J says, strangest photo memory means Darkhold still exists. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've talked about that in streams and videos as well. But, yeah, you're 100% right. Because of that photographic memory, he's got some of the Book of Ashanti, and he's got some of the Darkhold in his memory banks. James Yu says, I heard Kevin Feige, had less to do with Multiverse of Madness until the reshoots, and Waldron only had a month for the script. Yeah, that probably makes a lot of sense. I think, Kevin, but that's not abnormal, by the way. Like Marvel, that's the formula. Like the formula is basically a lot of freedom while you're shooting. Then they screen it, they look at it, and they pick it apart, and they do a ton of reshoots and a ton of fixing. Part of the reason why you get so many leaks with Marvel is because they are screening the movies so much because they're so committed to making good films. So, yeah, no, that is 100% true. Feige probably came in and was like, yo, this is where it's not going to connect. This is where it's not going to connect. This is what we need to change, etc., etc. So, yeah, I think that's totally fair. Rob Karts. Let's get to Rob's thing here. Rob Cart says, think we need more videos about how garbage Miss Marvel is going to be. Why would we need that, Rob? I don't understand, brother. Why would I need to make more videos about, well, first of all, I don't even necessarily think it's going to be garbage. I just think it's going to be not for me. You know what I mean? But that's not the kind of content I make, bro. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna shit all over Miss Marvel. I'm just gonna say it doesn't seem like it's for me. You know what I mean? Darth Breaks with a $5 host says, I was super chatting during the last Nerd Theory stream. I just want to make sure to spread that cheddar. Keep doing you, man. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, let's chill. I got 5-10 more minutes, and I got to get out of here. I got to eat. I want to do a boys trailer video reaction. And 1 p.m. we're streaming with the Nerd Vengers, so we'll chill with the Nerd Vengers. So I'll see you guys then. JP, member for 8 months. Says, much love to all the Nerd Vengers. Take my money. Appreciate you, man. Let's see here. Jordan says, the Kenobi leak makes sense to me. It sounds like Star Wars a la Rebels. Okay. Jedi Fallen Order, Battlefield 2, etc. Yeah, like all the stories they've done before. Light defeats dark. I agree we need new Star Wars, though. Take my money. So, here's the thing. Jordan. You know, I made the video. I tried to explain. I'm not going to go into the leaks here. But let's just say, obviously, I disagree. But, to be fair, and I continue to say this, I don't think people, pay attention. They just get triggered either way. But, of course, we have to see what the show is actually like. We have to see how these characters are actually handled and how does it feel. There is a chance, and I guess the best case scenario for me is that even if the leaks are real, that the show's just so fucking awesome then I'm like, bro, that was awesome. And like, it doesn't matter that there's some whack stuff in there because the show's awesome. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of like, that's like where I can meet you with it. But again, I think that, moving forward or doing some new stuff, it eliminates a lot of that baggage and those problems. Because I can totally admit that, like, I am an old, grumpy Star Wars fan. And that I have all these attachments, unreasonable attachments. I mean, I'm an adult man. He's sitting here on a microphone in Nerd Ventures Tower talking about nerdy news and shit. You want me to be reasonable about nerdy shit? Come on, man. Let's think about this, right? I will always have these preconceived notions, these places of attachment, places where it triggers me. I'll always have that with Star Wars. I have a very unique, it's a deep relationship with Star Wars. But if you go into a new place and you go out and expand, there's the possibility that you leave a lot of those things behind. You know what I mean? Mike Jokey Porter says, it could be the horror aspect, the killing. Wanda is being bad and general public not watching WandaVision beforehand. Also, some might only watch once. No, yeah, Mike, I agree. I think that's a big part of it, actually, is like the horror elements are strong in the movie, dude. Like, but I admire the movie for that. But again, what do you want? You want admiration? You want nerds like me to be like, it's the fucking best? Or do you want to hit all 4 quadrants, set up your universe better, have people be more happy and hyped about it? I mean, look, Feige, I defer to the other stuff. I love it. I'm glad it exists. But perhaps the lesson is, let's stick to the Endgame and Infinity War formula, you know? Like, is that fair? Is that fair? Is that okay? And Jordan says, absolutely agree. Please don't let it be another book of Boba Fett. Yes, that is very fair. Because if it's Book of Boba Fett and it doesn't do much, and it has that ending, oh my God. Like, we'll see what happens, right? Bring the Russo brothers back, says Oliver. I absolutely agree. And I think he's coming. And I think, I think they're coming. I think both of them will be back. I think that's what's going to make Secret Wars extra special, man. Dude, Ultimate Spider-Man goes hard. Great suggestion. Chris, I'm glad you like it. I love that run. I really do. Motherfuckers call that movie scary? Yeah, bro. We do. It's not scary compared to, like, The fucking Exorcist. But watch Endgame. And then watch that movie and tell me it's not scary. Did you listen to the Squirrel Girl podcast? I gotta be honest. I don't know what that is, bro. So, no, I did not. Heir to the Empire cures all ills. Yeah, well, it could, yeah. I love Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah, it's a great run. I expected the drop-off. Many people may be disappointed. Yes, that's fair. That's fair. I know you've seen the Jason Statham sign with Marvel Rubens. Do you think he's playing something? Yeah, I don't think he's going to be playing Doom. That would be wild. But I want him as The Thing. I can't get that out of my head now. I think he would be a great Ben Grimm. Mike says, I loved it. Saw it 3 times, and I got to get normies. Yes, fair. Currently reading Hickman's Secret Wars comic. Pretty nuts. Hell yeah, dude. It's amazing. Good stuff. Okay, so we're about to close up here, but I want to ask you guys something, because a lot of you that are chilling right here, you're like the most hardcore and the people that would watch all the time. So there's a Marvel role-playing game out there right now, and I've been experimenting with it. I got the book. I've got it on Roll20. I love RPGs. Like, I'm a big fan of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm wondering, would you guys watch a stream where we did a one-shot and we had some of the characters, the pre-made characters, like maybe a Choco? It's good to see you, bud. Would you guys want to watch a stream where maybe I was the dungeon master and we got somebody to do Captain America, Black Panther, Wolverine, Captain America? Would you want some stuff? Would you? Okay, it seems like some people would be down. Cool. Well, let me try to work on it a little bit more this week, because I need to get the system down. You know what I mean? I need to get the system down. But maybe we could do that. Maybe we could even get Choco to play a character. That would be fun. Get Choco to play a character. If I could find some other people, like maybe even Jason, because I know Jason does. He's really. I need people that play or that understand role playing games. Only if I can be Black Panther. Oh, 100% you can. Yeah, I like the game, and I think it could be fun. You know, we could set up some fun stuff for sure. System of a Down. Oh, I like that. I like that band. Let me in, Josh, says Fernie. Hey, Fernie, we could let you in on that. That'd be kind of fun, huh? Yeah, that'd be fun. Okay, cool. Looks like there's some interest with that. I would ruin the game 100%. Yeah, for sure. Okay, let me think about it. Let me put it together, and maybe we'll do it. And maybe we'll do it on like a night, like a week night. And we'll get everybody together, and it'll be kind of like a special thing. Oh, yeah, I'd love to get Rob to play. I don't know. He's super busy, of course. But, yeah. Okay, guys. Cool. Much love to you all. Appreciate the conversation. Appreciate the support. Yeah, man, it's always a good time here in the tower. Look out for, if there's not a video today, definitely a big one tomorrow. Plenty of fun, nerdy stuff that I want to get into and talk about with you guys. So look out for videos on the regular channel. I'll see you at Nerd Theory. And as I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. But hang on now. I got to just read this. Been listening to Rob's Secret Wars cover. It's perfect for my work shifts. Oh, yeah. And OS is perfect to just listen to that. We'll def see you on Nerd Theory. All right, brother. Much love. All right, everybody. See ya. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? What up, everybody? Hey, guess what? The stream didn't crash. That's pretty cool. No crashing on the stream. No crash on stream. That's good. That's fun. I like that. But, that's pretty much all I got. I don't really have anything cool to say. You know, I feel like the second post-credit scene of Multiverse of Madness, you know, fucking stupid. You know what I mean? So, much love. Yeah, and then, look, I'll tell you this. Either way, we're about to have a lot of interesting Star Wars content. Either in a good way or in a bad way. Yeah, we'll see. All right, everybody. Open up your third eye and watch out for that brown eye. We just got a bidet too, so, you know. Nice and clean. Okay.